time is running out for Israel's enemies. The defense minister now claims that Israel has destroyed Hamas, Hezbollah, and toppled the Syrian president's regime.
נפגע בתשתיות אסטרטגיות שלו ונערוף את ראש מנהיגיו בדיוק כמו שעשינו להניע סינואר ונסראללה בטהרן, עזה ובלבנון, נעשה בחודדה ובצנע.
And now, shocking details have surfaced, revealing how Israel's walkie-talkie and pager explosions left the militant group in ruins. The story of this decade-long covert operation is nothing short of a thriller. It is based on the accounts of ex-Mossad agents. It involved deception, trickery, shell companies, and explosives triggering the fall of Hezbollah. But how did Israel carry out such an operation? Well, the devil lies in the details. The story began over a decade ago, when Mossad agents started developing a highly unusual weapon, a walkie-talkie modified with an explosive device. The idea was simple: to weaponize a device that would not be suspected and is used by Hezbollah fighters. But getting these walkie-talkies into Hezbollah hands wasn't easy. A believable story had to be created. So, shell companies and fake production lines were set up to infiltrate the global supply chain. Then, prices had to be set right. It could not be too cheap so as to avoid suspicion, and not too high so as to avoid pricing Hezbollah out of the deal. A similar strategy was followed for pagers too in 2022. The challenge here was to build a device which was big enough to hide the explosive, but small enough for Hezbollah to carry without suspicion. And after multiple tests, Mossad engineers succeeded at that. They even set the pager's ringtone carefully to ensure that it was compelling enough for militants to pull them out of their pockets. Now, the task was to get these into the hands of Hezbollah fighters. For this, fake companies were set up and salespeople linked to Hezbollah were hired. Pagers were touted as high-tech devices in the market, with fake advertisements vouching for the dust-proof, waterproof, and long-lasting qualities. These advertisements were so convincing that even non-Hezbollah began placing orders. And soon, the walkie-talkies and pagers produced in Mossad facilities in Israel found their way into Hezbollah's hands. Cut to September 2024. Hezbollah had thousands of these pagers in its possession. Then, September 18, 2024, marked the turning point in this operation. The pagers, which had been silently waiting, were activated. That day, the pagers began to beep, signaling their deadly nature. Explosions rang out across Lebanon, injuring dozens of Hezbollah fighters and instilling fear throughout their ranks. Mossad agents had carefully planned the timing. The goal wasn't mass destruction, but to inflict just enough damage to disrupt Hezbollah's command structure and instill fear among their soldiers. And one day later, Mossad activated the walkie-talkies, which sent another wave of panic through Hezbollah's ranks. The total death toll reached around 30, including 2 children, with more than 3,000 people injured. The results were swift and profound. Mossad's operation shattered the group's sense of invincibility and morale, and within days, Israeli airstrikes hit targets across Lebanon, killing over 1,000 people. Then on September 27, a bomb targeted Nasrallah's bunker, effectively neutralizing the leader. The Mossad operation weakened Hezbollah and in turn reduced Iran's influence in the region. The lesson was clear. October 7 attack, which caught Israel off guard, had dealt a major blow to the country's intelligence agencies. And now they are not willing to back down until they hold their enemies at their mercy.